everyone. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Facebook just showed me, I don't know if you guys can see it if you're watching, but Facebook just gave me a notification that this is my 50th broadcast in this group. So that is pretty crazy and cool. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about a few things. I want to talk business plans. I want to talk detachment. Allie posted a great question on that in the group that I really want to talk about. And I also want to talk about gratitude and how thankful I am for all of you in this process. So thank you for watching and taking the time to just be part of this process. So I guess I'll start with gratitude and maybe we'll end there too. But the first thing I want to just say is how insanely grateful I am to all of you that went through it this time. I feel like this was such a high energy, high vibe process. I feel like all of you really embodied what it means to be part of a community and to support other women and to be rising tides that are lifting all boats. And I'm just so grateful for that. Like, I don't know that I have words to tell you how much that means to me to see this happening in this space, because I really believe in my heart that that's what will move us forward as entrepreneurs. That's what will move this industry forward, and you guys all modeling it so perfectly during this process was just really important to me, and it was really easy to have happen, right? Like, I really didn't have to do anything to make that happen, and I just want to say thank you guys for that. Hi, Raina. I love you. Hi. Raina, I drank easily 4 hot cinnamon sunset teas today. So if I seem a little wired, that might be why. Raina turned me on to this tea. If you guys are tea lovers, it's Harney and Sons, and it's called Hot Cinnamon Sunset, and it's like basically the best thing I've ever tasted in my whole life. And I've drinking all the tea today. Hi, Tara. Hi, Maggie. Hi. Okay, so first thing, right? Thank you. Hi, Sarah. Oh, my heart. How are you? Julie says, you are breeding this connectivity so well. Thank you, Julie. Hot cinnamon sunset. Yes. It's, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. So I just want to say thank you, because I honestly know, like, you guys all have businesses, right? Which is why you're showing up in this process. I know you all have lives and families and maybe a 9-to-5 or a part-time job or whatever. So showing up for this process is like nothing short of exceptional, right? Like, if you think about it, I think the application had at least 10 questions. Then you had to make a video. The business plan is like at least 6 pages, right? Plus you're telling me your secret sauce. Like, I want to say thank you, first of all, for showing up for that. And I want you to give yourself credit. So no matter what happens on Monday, what happens with the partnership, I think it's so important to remember that we can do hard things sometimes. Just that space of remembering, like, wow, I showed up so big for that. Like, I wanted something and I showed up at that level to get it. Plus I supported other people. Plus I commented on other things. Plus I was also running my business and doing life and, taking care of my kids or my family or my baby or whatever. And so I think as much as I want to express my gratitude for you, I want you to express your gratitude for you too, for showing up so fully for this process, for being brave enough to go after what you want, and really for making this such a beautiful space to be in, right? So in being brave about going for what you want, also supporting the other women who are going for the same thing, like, that takes a tremendous amount of courage as well, to not make them all wrong, to not feel the competition. So I hope that this weekend, as I'm reading through your business plans, that what you are doing is expressing such big gratitude for you, for yourself, for your way of showing up, for your business, all of that. Raina says, so true. Way to show up, ladies. Hey, Barb. Hey. So that's the first thing I just want to get on the table. Thank you for being you, and don't forget to thank yourself for that, right? Second thing is just some business plan stuff that I want to say really quick. I literally cannot stress this enough, and I could not be more sincere in saying you can't do it wrong. Literally, I'm not tricking you. I'm not like, you can't do it wrong, but also I'm looking for a certain something. Like, literally, you cannot do it wrong. The only reason I have it in this way is because I want it to be useful to you too, right? I want you to feel like you have a business plan and you got great things out of this and you have something you can move forward with. Like, that is why it's designed in the way it is. All I want is to like really know you in your business. Unfortunately, this process does not allow for each of us to have, a 45-minute discovery call. So this is in place of me getting to know you. So think about that, right? Think about like, all this is me being able to read that and being like, oh, Barb models her business off of one-on-one. And she, wants to try expanding her Facebook ads and, right? Like, that's it. Like, here's the thing. If I was looking for a perfect business owner or a perfect business, I would be bored, right? Like, the point of this isn't for me to like find that perfect business owner that doesn't really need my help and then hopefully like makes money along the way so I get money and don't work. I think you all know me well enough by now that I love a challenge. I love to get my hands dirty. I actually really fucking love this work, which is why I'm doing it, right? So don't like box yourself. That is not what I meant. I think I was going to say don't put yourself in a corner or box. It doesn't matter. Don't box yourself. You get what I mean. And feel like there's a wrong way to do it, or that this is a test or an exam, or that I'm grading you on how well you know your business. Like, many of you aren't business coaches. You're first-time business owners with a zone of genius, an area of expertise in a totally different area, which is why you want to work with me, right? So it would be ridiculous for me to expect that you know how to fill out a business plan really well, or that you knew the answer to all of these questions, because if you did, I'm not really sure why you'd want to work with me. Yeah, right? So please just give yourself some love and grace around that. Please know that this is legitimately meant to be me getting to know you. Julie says, so useful. Thank you. Good. I hope that helps. So this is like, we had a lot of applications this time around, which I'm so thankful for, but it really just doesn't allow the space to like one-on-one talk to everybody or, stalk everyone fully or whatever. So this is just my way of getting to know you deeper, better, and my way of giving you something to take away from this process that really serves you, so you can see your holes, so you can see where you might need support if I don't end up being the person that supports you, or where you see what you could be capitalizing on that you maybe didn't think about. That is all this is. There's literally no wrong way. If you don't know the answer to a question, totally fine with you just telling me you don't know. I'd love some context around that. Why don't you know? Like, if you don't know what strategies you want to try, you might just want to tell me like, yo, Lacey, that's what I'm trying to hire you for. I don't know some strategies, so I want some, right? Just be honest with me, provide context, and that is literally all I want. So I hope that clears up some stress and confusion. If you have any questions about that I didn't already answer and you're on here, feel free to drop them below. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, let me know that too. I really want this to be supportive and feel good and not feel like, cramming for a test or, something that's like really hard and unhelpful. Tara says one question left but needed. Oh, not for me. I get what you're saying. One question left but needed to go to bed. We'll finish in the morning. Beautiful. Totally fine. Hey. Barb said, this just made me release an elephant of stress. Good. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad. Maybe this is a learning lesson for me that I need to say that a little more forcefully in my email next time. So I'm really glad this is helping though, and I really I don't want it to be stressful, and there's no reason for it to be, right? Like, why did I create a business plan template? Well, because I know how to, because I went to business school. Right? Like, I'm not expecting you to know how to. Like, that's part of what I'm bringing to our partnership, yeah? Chevy says, what time is the deadline? I should know this, but I don't. I don't remember what I put. I think I just said Saturday morning. Here's the thing. I am like not a stressed case around this kind of stuff. Like, if you got it in Saturday at 3 p.m. and it was freaking awesome and whatever, like, I don't plan on holding anything against anybody. The reason I want them tomorrow is because I really want to give myself the time and space to give them love, care, and attention. But I just like don't want it to be, just this thing that's like hanging over you, or feels like school, or feels like another to-do list item. Like, I want this to feel like a gift to yourself, right? Like, I'm giving myself the gift of sitting down and looking at these things in my business. I'm giving myself the gift of showing up for this thing I want. So anything that makes it not feel like that doesn't feel good to me, to be perfectly honest with you. So I think I said Saturday morning. I definitely want it tomorrow. Again, like, no stress, no stress. Barb said, you did say it, but seeing you and hearing you just released it all. Beautiful. I'm so glad. Rama says, I've been stuck with the business plan this time, and last time I never submitted it because of so much stress around. Thank you for this. It helps to know I can say I don't know. Totally. That's half the point, right? If you knew all of that, you'd make my job a little too easy and my case study a little inaccurate, right? Tara says, what time zone are you in? I'm in Eastern. I'm in Florida, which you wouldn't know by this jacket that I have on, but it's been a little cold here. Okay, so all stress around the business plan, let go of. If every question says, I don't know, this is what I want your help on, you're still in the running, that's fine. I expect to show up and do my part, right? Like, I expect to do the work of the work, like I think, like at the beginning of this process, right, it almost seems like too good to be true in a way, like, oh, I just get to have a coach for free and like, cool. And what I really like want to remind everybody is like, you're going to pay me, right? This isn't like a free thing. Like, you are definitely going to pay me. So like, my expectation is that I'm going to show up and do what I'm good at and show up and do the work to get paid. Yeah. So half of this is knowing like what that work might look like with you. So if 3 questions say, I don't know, well, beautiful. It's like a discovery call. I have a much better idea of like where my help for you is going to show up. And it helps me pick more accurately because I'm like, oh, okay, Rama, I'm using you as an example because you're the last person that asked a question. But like, oh, Rama doesn't understand how to communicate her message effectively. Or she doesn't really know what her secret sauce is. And she wrote, I don't know, this is what I want your help with. Beautiful. I know what our work together is going to look like. And I know whether to be like, that is something I could kick ass with her on. She might be a great candidate. Or like, oh, she really needs help with this other thing, and that might not be my zone. So be as honest as you can, because honestly, this is that process of us picking each other, right? You don't want to put what you think I want you to say and then get in partnership with me and be like, well, I'm glad you picked me, but I actually need help with this other thing, right? Like, that's not the point of this at all. And I just spit. That is not the point of this. Okay. Hi, Allie. Allie, I'm going to answer your question in just a minute. Hey, Joy. Hi, Roxy. Julie said it's good to know that ideas can be put out on the plan. Ideas can be put out on the plan knowing that it's not written in stone, that you can coach her on what's realistic or what isn't, or maybe other ideas come out of the partnership. Totally. I actually, Sarah Kornblatt, are you still on here? Went back and read like yours and some of the other participants' applications the other night just for fun. And it was so funny, right? Because so many of the things you put in there have so come true. I'm actually probably going to send them to all of you guys so you can see them. Shannon, are you on here too maybe? So I want to send them to you guys because it was really cool to see. And then some of the things people said we never even did, because it seemed like a good idea to them at the time, and then we switched directions. So yeah, the point being that, like, this is a guide. It's not like, hey, this is how we're gonna show up together. Like, I don't even think I talked about this frankly with my partnership clients past maybe the first session or two where we really dove in, but this is not like a concrete plan for our coaching. This is basically like my version of a discovery call placed into a business plan to help you and help me. Roxy said it's like dating. Yes, exactly. Like, if you fake who you are, you're going to end up resenting that person that you're dating, right? Or you're going to be like really surprised when they faked it and all of a sudden they're a different person, right? Ebony said, did you read one? Did I read one? Oh, mine. Did you read mine? I honestly haven't read any of them yet. I have a plan. Like, I have time all weekend. I have like this idea of what it's going to look like, and it's going to be like a beautiful like business plan ceremony. So I haven't read anybody's yet. Tara said, I just want to say thank you because this process has brought literature back into my business in a different creative way. So cool. It was previously a big focus, but didn't work out. Feels good to have it a part of it again. Do you guys notice that I'm really bad at reading comments? I don't know why that was so hard for me. Tara, that's awesome though. And I loved your video on that. So I think that totally makes sense if that's a part of it for you. Okay. Any more business plan questions? Let me know. Otherwise I'm going to talk about detachment. Allie had posted a question and she said, hey, like, I know you've been talking about detachment a lot in some of your live streams, in some of your posts, and also I'm doing the business plan and I'm not really sure how I could be detached. I think you meant from both, right? Probably like the result of the partnership and what you want to see come to fruition, and then also just like detach from these things in your business. So I'm going to speak on that for a minute, probably more than a minute because I tend to be long-winded, but stick with me. This has been the best and biggest lesson in general for me. I would say that it really, really showed up in the past 2 to 3 years. And it's still something I work on every single day. So it's not like black or white. I'm not either like attached or detached. Like, I really see it as a continuum, if that makes sense. So that's like, I guess would be like my first point, is that detachment is on a continuum. It's not like a yes or no thing. It's not a black or white thing. And I think that's where people get really tough on themselves, is like, I can't detach. Like, okay, but can you detach a little, right? Can you detach just a small amount? And so for me, detachment isn't like, I don't care. I think that's a really big distinction that I want to make, is like, it's not, I'm so detached from my business, like, I don't care what happens, like, I'm not really invested in it. Like, I think it's totally different. For me, detachment is like, to paraphrase Gabrielle Bernstein, it's this or something better, right? So meaning, like, if I have a launch that doesn't work out, I'm not super attached to like that one piece. I'm really attached to how I feel in my business, how I'm showing up in my business. I'm really attached to staying in it and working towards like that end game / feeling. I'm really not attached to what that ends up looking like in the middle, if that makes sense. So that's, I think, where we get really screwed up, is in getting really attached to the how. So let me just give you an example that I talked about with one of my clients recently. She was so attached to having her Facebook group be at this certain number, and kind of came on our call just like beating herself up about it. Like, well, I came close, but I'm 13 short, and it's just crazy because I knew I could manifest that number, and just like so attached to this thing. And I was like, cool, so why did you want that many? And she was like, because I wanted it to grow. Right. So like no reason, you know what I mean? Like she was just so attached to this thing, this number that meant nothing, really wouldn't do anything for her business. Like it wasn't like she did like numbers where she was like, well, if I have X amount of people and they convert at X rate, then I'm going to get X. Like it was nothing like that. It was just a thing, right? And I think so often we're taught to set goals in that way, like arbitrary number, chase it. And I think that's where it becomes so detrimental to us because we're pushing it away as we're chasing it so fully. So for me, it's like, I just want to like grow my community and keep showing up and keep spreading my message. I'm really attached to those things. And then the how of it, like as Mike Dooley says, the cursed hows, right? I'm really not attached to. So like if a launch doesn't go well or a challenge or this client ends up saying no or whatever, it's like no thing, right? Like if I've shared with you guys, my goal is 250K next year. Like I want to work towards that and also like that or something better, right? Maybe I'll make 200 because I decided to pull back and like travel more and have more fun. I have no idea, but I'm not going to like chase that thing. I'm going to hold it as like an intention and I'm going to show up for that, right? But I'm not going to use it as a measuring stick to beat myself up with, right? I hope that makes sense. Hold on, I have a lot of comments here. Barb says, oh my gosh, yes, I detached a little. That's all I can do now. Tara says, detaching from the outcome, there'll always be a positive to be taken from it. Absolutely. Maggie says, yes, be committed to your results, but not attached to them. Love you. Oh, Maggie says, something I love from the book Creating Money is going for the essence of the thing and not just the thing. Absolutely. That is so freeing. Example, Facebook group. Essence is the community of engaged people. Thing is the arbitrary number. You just hit it on the head, right? I'm kind of like jumping the gun here because I have content written out for all next week about not setting arbitrary numbers and setting intentions instead. But so you'll get a little bit more of this. But hey, Lisa. Hi. Oh, I'm so happy you're on. What was I saying? Yeah, so basically I think it's like, what are you wanting with some of this stuff? So like the partnership, for example, right? Let's talk about detachment around that. All you can be attached to is like your commitment to showing up for that process, right? So I might be attached to, and maybe not even attached is the wrong word. I think Maggie said committed, and I like that, right? Like I'm super committed to showing up for this. I'm super committed to building that self-trust. I'm super committed to the fact that I want support. And it will either be this or something better, right? This or it will look different. I'm not going to worry about the how. It doesn't have to be this partnership, this time, right? Like maybe, you'll find another coach and maybe you'll end up hiring me and you'll be so effing thankful that you didn't do the partnership because the amount of money you made would have mean that you would have been paying me way more. Whatever, like this or something better, right? Allie says that makes total sense. I found myself staring at this partnership process as if, oh, hey, it would be cool to be chosen. Then found myself thinking, oh my God, I'll be crushed if she doesn't think I'm the best fit. But yesterday and today, working more on the attitude of this or something better. Great point. Julie says, I love what you were saying. Focus and willing intention and the willingness to let it go. Yeah, totally. And I think also like the one thing I want to say from what you said, Allie, too, is I think that the biggest piece of this partnership process is that inherently there will be people that will be really great fits for me that I know that I could help and also I can't, right? Because I also have to have regular paying clients to balance out the risk in my business. I also have to have time to breathe. And so I think like the other part is remembering that like just because you're not like one of the people that got picked, it really doesn't mean anything about you or your business, right? Maybe, because this happened last time, just so we're clear, maybe I'm like, you don't really need my help, honestly. Like, maybe you need like a very small amount of help or like a mastermind group or something, but like, you don't need to pay me 15% because you have your shit together way bigger than you even are seeing right now, So I think it's also just not attaching, like, you being picked to it meaning anything about your business, right? Like, I'm picking people based on like who I think I can help, who I think is a great fit. Lots of criteria that have nothing to do with like, do I think your business can take off, right? That's so important. I don't even know that you meant to say it like that, but thank you for just like, jogging my brain to say that, because I think that's really, really, really important, is that this doesn't mean anything about anybody that doesn't get picked, right? Like, I might pick wrong. Hey, I'm human. What if I don't pick you and you go make $100K in 6 months, and then I'm kicking myself in the ass because I could have made $15,000 if I had picked you? Like, maybe that's going to happen. Maybe that's this or something better, and then you don't owe me $15,000 and you just made $100K, right? Like, I think I'm going to pick well. I think I'm going to put time, energy, and effort to it, and also I could be wrong, I have to say this, and it's really mostly because I want to talk about the OA for a second. But you guys know I've been obsessing over this show on Netflix called The OA. And one of the things she says in it, don't worry, I'm not going to ruin anything, is the future is dark. And what she means by that is not that the future is dark, dull, gloomy, anything like that, but like it's dark because it depends on what choices we make, right? So like the future is dark for me right now. I could pick two people and both could just not kill it, right? Based on the choices that they make, or that how I show up in the partnership. Well, probably not how I show up. I don't mean to say it like that. I'm going to show up 100%, right? But the future is dark is the point. Like, I could not pick you and you could kill it next year. This means nothing about any of that, right? Also, I just really wanted to make a show reference because it's like taking up 50% of the space in my brain at this point in time. Okay, Allie says, right, else will show up and do the work because I know I can. Exactly. And I think that's the other piece too. Like, all this process does is start your wheels turning and getting that momentum. And so if you don't stop the momentum, it doesn't stop, whether I'm on your team or not, right? The other thing that I really learned about detachment, and that I'm still leaning into this piece of it, so I'm definitely not coming to this piece of the conversation from like an area of expertise, but what I have found, and what I know many of you have probably found at some point, I know a lot of my friends have found this, is that when I just have fun and get high vibe and do things that excite me and inspire me and light me up, my business grows. So like one of my favorite stories that I share a lot is last year I had been working pretty hard early on in the year. It was kind of before I had really built my team, and definitely before I had like fully leaned into my decision around like how fast do I want to grow my business. And my husband and I had a trip scheduled to go skiing, and I thought very seriously about canceling it because I had work to do. You know, that bullshit of like there's always something, right? Anyway, I went anyway. We had such an amazing time. It was so fun. And I literally remember being at a bar in Colorado one night after we had been skiing. And I had 3 people, no shit. I sound like I'm lying, but I swear. I had 3 people that I had previously done like free calls with, or an intensive with, or maybe like a 15-minute assessment or something crazy. 3 people emailed me and said, I want to sign up for your 6-month program. Send me the link. It was crazy. And it was such a moment for me of like, oh, this. Yes. I got out of my own way. I had fun. I stopped being in the hamster wheel of do the thing, get the thing, do the thing, get the thing, do the thing, get the thing, right? And I got the thing and still had a really good time, right? Roxy says, I love that you just referenced the OA. Good. I need a support group, honestly. Or I need someone besides my husband that will listen to me talk about all my theories. Or I need to be medicated. I'm not sure which one. One of those 3 things needs to happen, though. Julie says, totally, I'm not going to show up any less either way. Exactly. Lisa, one of them was me. Exactly. That's so funny. It was you, right? I think we had done like a mini intensive or something, and then that was like your time, right? You just messaged me and we're like, let's roll. It was beautiful. So really just keeping in mind that part of detachment is like, go do the fun thing, you know? So like this weekend, if you're feeling really attached to the partnership application, like what can you do that's super high vibe and exciting, you know? Personally, I know for me, I had, just this is full transparency, I had a really bad week last time that I announced the partnership. That was like way harder for me than I was kind of expecting. I mean, I would say I got a little borderline depressed for a minute because I felt like I let a lot of people down, and honestly, I wasn't expecting so many people to apply last time, and I literally swear to you, I thought I'd maybe have like 3 people at the end, and so kind of like carrying the heaviness of, you know, letting people down really hurt. And so this time, 2 things. One, I understand that better, and I understand that like it doesn't need to be a letdown. I also understand that I only can control what I can control. I also understand that I have better tools, but mostly I understand that I have to just go have some fucking fun. So like, here's what's gonna happen. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna write Sunday night the email that says who won. I'm gonna put it in my email scheduler, and I'm getting on a plane at 8:30 on Monday morning, and I'm flying to go skiing again. Because I know this is traditionally a very tough week for me. And I'm not going to let myself fall into that trap this time. And I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of like, you can't help all the people, because they don't need me to help all the people, right? I'm not like anyone's savior here. And I don't need to carry the weight of that from myself. Not that anybody put that on me, right? But it was such a lesson in detachment also. Like, so on the back end of that, right? Being detached from like how anybody feels and thinking that I had to own any of that. I think part of detachment too is like being willing to just like self-care around some of this stuff that you feel really attached to, right? So if you're sending out an email to your list that you feel really attached to, or you're doing a launch, like how are you self-caring? I don't know if that's a thing. Self-caring, yeah. And having a lot of fun and getting high vibe and all of that around it, because that's totally part of the detachment process, right? Roxy says, love that you pre-planned your fun. I really did. The awkward part being that this is like the 1 week in the month of January where it's not going to snow every day. And my husband was like, really? You picked the 1 week to announce your partnership client where there's not going to be snow? Gary Ann says, I'm sending my biz plan tonight and then leaving tomorrow for Cabo. Yes, go you. Oh, I love Cabo. Oh, where are you going in Cabo? I'm kind of jealous. I love it there. Ashley says, what a beautiful gift you've given yourself to plan something neat for you at the end of this. Thank you. Julie says, send it and go. Amen. Molly says, yes, going on vacay during a launch or announcement is the way to go. I totally agree. It's so counterintuitive, right? But once you've had that experience of seeing how greatly it impacts you, it's like a non-negotiable every time, right? Julie, you're making me jealous too. You had another bluebird day. You live somewhere where you get to go skiing all the time, or are you on vacation? Where do you live, Julie? Why don't I know that? Tell me. I really want to move to Colorado soon. Anyway, so those are some of my lessons in detachment, but I feel very compelled to say that those are always from a place of me being in learning and process around that, because that is still like a daily thing for me. I am built to want to control things. I'm built to be attached to things. That's kind of how I was built for a really long time. Funny story, very quickly, but just to show you like how intense this was for me in my life and how far I've come around it, is in grad school when I was getting my master's in mental health counseling the first time, I was so attached to everything, like to the point of like getting sick and losing sleep and just being crazy. And I remember one of my professors wouldn't answer me back about something, and I thought that there was a potential that I was going to get a B, and I had a 4.0. I stayed up all night. I emailed him this batshit crazy email that if I look back on now, I'm like, you're lucky they didn't kick you out of the program, girlfriend. I mean, I was so attached to every grade, every outcome, everything, right? Like, if he gave me a B, it was going to, like, end my life, right? Who cares if I got a B? Like, nobody's even asking. You know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit that I had a 4.0. Now it's like a joke, right? So it's just, like, such a good example of, like, how crazy we can make ourselves and how attached. And so that's why this is, like, daily work for me, because I used to be so far on the other end of the spectrum, and I saw how much that didn't serve me. Also, I have an autoimmune disease, and I don't have the luxury of being that attached to anything anymore. But I just want to say, like, this is not like I'm an expert in this. This is, like, totally I'm in process with you around this. Julie, you live on top of a ski hill. Oh, be still my heart. Allie, you're so welcome. Okay, so wrapping it up, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. And just again, I said I was going to start with gratitude and end with it. I just want to say thank you guys so much. Like, my heart is so full in this process that it's, like, sort of hard to even comprehend. I've thought a lot about investing this year in my business, meaning, like, I thought, should I get rental? Not rental. Should I rent my house out? Should I think about investing in real estate property? Like, how should I be expanding? And I'm not saying I'm not up for any of those things, but what I'm really saying is that what I have come to the conclusion of this year is that there is no better, and I am sincere in this, there is no better investment than a driven woman entrepreneur. I believe that with my whole heart at this point, and so that is where you're going to see me continue to invest time and energy in my business, because I think picking, a few of you who are absolutely driven, absolutely committed, absolutely ready to show up and do the thing is the absolute smartest investment I can make, because I'm not going to lose money. I'm only going to lose time. And the likelihood that I'm even going to lose that is pretty slim, right? So thank you guys for giving me this opportunity, for being such a smart investment that I will continue to invest in, that I will be incorporating into my business model even more. And I just don't know if I can accurately describe what a gift that is to me. I know everybody thinks, like, oh, I'm awesome and I'm doing this thing. And honestly, like, it is so selfish in some ways. Like, this is so fun for me. This has lit me up so much. This has reinvigorated just about every bit of innovative spirit I have, and has really reminded me that, like, I will always be investing in this way. And that I would rather do this than invest and be fixing up an old house or whatever any day of the week, because I know for sure that this is the best investment. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. I know each of you are inviting me literally into your businesses to be your partner. And I want you to know how seriously I take that. And that, there's not one of you that I don't see potential in, and there's not one of you that I'm not exceptionally grateful for showing up for this and for inviting me into your business and your space. So know that, yes, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being thankful for me, but the shoe is really on the other foot. You guys, I can't with analogies today. I think I called something kryptonite the other day. I'm not making sense, but you get what I mean. No more analogies on live streams, but really know that, like, it is mutual. Like, one of the things I talk about all the time in my business is that it always has to be an even exchange of energy. And I want you to know that this truly, truly is. Like, I'm not giving you anything that you guys are not giving back to me tenfold. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna get off before I cry on live stream again, but seriously, like, oh shit. Here we go again. I promise I won't cry in all your coaching calls. I just love all of you and appreciate you and like appreciate this process. And now I'm hot, more than you know. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for being here. Don't stress your business plan. And enjoy your weekend and have fun. I will be doing the same. Well, not this weekend. I mean, I'm going to have fun, but next week. And thank you guys all for showing up. And I love you. And I will talk to you guys soon.